Hey, Anne Arundel County, it's Dan the Pub Ed Man here with another safety tip. What I'd like to talk to you about today is some sparkler safety tips and tricks. So we've all used them, we all have them. They're fun, they're bright. Yeah, honestly, you tend to give them to kids. We're gonna ask that you don't. Anyone under the age of adult should not be using these. They can be very, very dangerous. Sparklers can burn anywhere from 1,200 to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you wouldn't let your kid touch your stove if it's on. You wouldn't let them put their hand in the oven. And that's only 300, 400, 500 degrees. We're talking about multiple times hotter than that. So this, these are the shorter ones. These are about what they look like. And the proper disposal method is you take them, you put them in a bucket of water, okay? Now, you don't want to just immediately take it out. You want to let them sit there, make sure there's no sparks, there's no smoke, anything like that, at least 30 seconds to a minute. And once that, please do not leave them on the ground. Don't throw them in the water if you're at the beach. Dispose of them properly in a trash can somewhere. Like I said, really proper disposal and proper use is the way you don't start accidental fires, get accidentally face or hand injuries. So we're really hoping you have a happy and healthy holiday season. We hope with this information, you're a little bit safer, a little bit more knowledgeable than you were before. I hope you have a great day.
In these stands, these younger stands, this is probably a 30 to 40-year-old stand of trees here. Those areas that had been pre-commercially thinned and then had been grapple piled with the fire burning through them, they fared fairly well with. And we do that not to keep fire from burning through an area, but to keep fire on the surface as it burns through an area to mimic the natural low-intensity fires that would burn in these timber types every 10 to 15 years. And so by doing that, we have a historic fire regime, and so the impacts of fire should be fairly what we would have seen 100 years ago in here. On the surface, small pockets of mortality, and then would create some openings for small trees to grow in those openings while maintaining 90% of the area with an overstory of larger trees, mid to large size trees. On this fire, the rail fire, if you look at the whole landscape, there's some portions of this landscape that are high elevation, alpine, subalpine forest, and those really are dependent on landscape fire. So without fire, then the insects and disease came in. The fuels are still there, so when you have a fire, it's you can have some fairly high severity. Looking at the stands here, there's some stands that have some bigger trees in here, and obviously bigger trees, Doug fir and ponderosa pine, are more adapted to fire. They can withstand fire, especially surface fire, and with having the fuels thinned out underneath them by harvest and mechanical treatment, the fire doesn't reach the crowns, and so it's a surface fire that really does no harm. And then as you look over across the road here, we have a stand that's probably 40 to 60 years old that hasn't been treated. And so it's thick in there. The ladder fuels go from the ground to the very tops of the trees. And so they were unable to withstand the same fire that was on the other side of the road. Fire does a lot more than just burn forests. It's a tool, and landscapes out here developed with fire, and they're dependent on fire, and so we take fire out of that, it opens it up to insect and disease, fire with high severity fire that would kill large amounts of the overstory and reduce the soil productivity until there was no forbs or brush may not be available.
Almost anyone at any age can exercise safely and get meaningful benefits. Staying safe while you exercise is always important, whether you're trying to do a new activity or haven't been active for a long time. When doing endurance exercise, listen to your body. Your breathing may become faster, but you should still be able to talk. When doing strength exercise, don't exercise the same muscle group on any 2 days in a row. Start out with light weights. When doing balance exercise, have a sturdy chair handy or a person nearby to hold on to if you feel unsteady. Always warm up before stretching exercises. A few minutes of walking in place works well. Slowly stretch into the desired position as far as possible without pain and hold the stretch for 10 to 30 seconds. Relax, breathe, then repeat, trying to stretch farther. For more information about exercising safely, visit www.goforlife.nia.nih.gov.